And I just wanted to bring up something to people, especially crackheads. Okay, you guys know who you are, and I know you all have smartphones and you plug into the side of the buildings, stuff like that, and you watch videos and stuff. I hope you watch this video. I am a grandfather, okay? I have young grandchildren that I take to McDonald's and stuff like that. I know you guys have problems with drugs, and I understand that. I once had a problem too, but I fixed that problem, and way over with years ago. If you can't fix your problem, well, you need to find a way out and stay away from the general public. That's all I gotta say. Stay away from the general public. I took my grandkids out today for a nice day that I thought was going to be a nice day at McDonald's. Well, we came across, and it wasn't at our table, it was at the table next to us, which was kind of scary. I didn't realize he was doing it because my wife and I were engaged in talking and showing stuff on the phone and recording the kids while they're in the McDonald's thing that the kids playing. So I really wasn't paying attention to what was going on outside. But the people that were sitting in the booth next to us, which was a bigger window, saw this. And let me show you something. It's really spooky. See this guy here? I took a picture of him. And he's standing there watching the kids. I mean, he's eating his pizza while he's eyeballing the kids playing. It was super, super creepy. This guy was so whacked out on drugs, he really didn't even know what he was doing. So when he figured out I was taking pictures of him, and then the manager of McDonald's came out, he took off. But, when I was leaving, I saw where he went, and I went over there and I confronted him. I'm not going to tell you exactly everything I told him, but he did get the message. I always tell everybody I'm 4'2", 4'5". It's great because when I get out of my car, they freak out. But let me tell you something. I confronted him. And I told him flat out basically this. That, I realize and I understand where he's at. And that he needs, if he's going to be doing these drugs, he needs to stay out of the eye of the public. Because it's his own problem. It's not the kid's problem, it's not your problem, it's not my problem, it's his problem. I said, if you choose your life that way, then you need to live your life out of the eye of public, because the public does not agree with what you're doing, for one, and for two, it's not fair to the kids and to the moms and dads that are raising these kids to have to explain what you just did. And these kids are scared. I am shocked to see how scared these kids were, because while I was watching my grandson play, all of a sudden he froze. And that's what did it for me. And then the people in the booth next to me got up and left. And I was like, this is really my underarms. And I'm wondering, what the hell did I do to make these people move? To get their food and get up and move. And that's when I noticed them. And I was shocked. But he understood vaguely, like I said, he was whacked out, and he was pretty high, and he flat out, he did apologize, believe it or not, but he shouldn't be apologizing to me, and that's what I told him. You don't need to apologize to me. You need to apologize to moms and dads that are now explaining to their kids what you just did, and that's what you should be doing, not apologizing to me. It's because flat out, I mean, you piss me off and you're done, buddy. That's all there is to it. And I had to be a little rough with him in the beginning so he'd listen to me. But the fact of the matter is that I got my message through to him. And he got on his bike and he took off. And that's all there was to it. And what I mean, and what the message is to all you people out there that are doing drugs and that are hooked on drugs, trust me, I understand what you're going through. Drug addiction is horrible addiction. And, you know, the need for it, it's just crazy need. And nobody can really understand it until they're actually sitting in those shoes. And you don't want to be in those shoes. And I'm sure 90% of you don't want to be in those shoes either. So, you know, my message to you is to basically get some help. Get some help and kick the habit. And be mentally strong enough to take that habit and throw it away. Because it is going to kill you, for one. And for two, dying over a drug addiction, I'd rather die in a car accident. Because at least you die honorably. You know, it's being a drug addict and dying, it's disgraceful. And you become a cadaver. An unknown cadaver at that point. And people don't want to deal with you. People don't want to touch you. People put gloves on. I mean, you know, with me, if I die right now, you know, fall on the floor and die, people are going to come over and they're going to scoop me up and they're not going to be afraid of me. I don't have diseases or anything. But when I pick up a drug addict that has overdosed, trust me, they take every precaution they possibly can because you don't know what's going on. And plus, living under bridges, living out of a shopping cart, riding around on a bike all night long, doing what you got to do to make money for the next fix, be a man or a woman, doesn't matter, is usually disgraceful. And some of the things that you have to do to make the money is disgraceful. And something that you never thought you'd ever do in your life, even though you had big plans. Now, that's the reason right there to get off the drugs and move forward. But listen to Grandpa and do that. I'm Grandpa Ken telling you, please, get off the drugs and do that. And that's exactly what I told this young man. Please, listen to Grandpa Ken. I am a grandfather, and I'm telling you, please, get off the drugs. Get some help. If you need direction, I can show you. But he decided not to. Because I told him flat out, I would put him in a car, and I would take him to a drug addiction place that would help him. He didn't want to. So you can't force somebody to get off of drugs. It won't work. They have to be willing. And that's why I'm saying you need to either be willing to get off the drugs and get off the drugs now, or stay out of the sight of the public, especially the kids. Because the kids were freaking out in there. And there was a lot of them in there today. And I felt so bad for them and the parents because it was horrible. The mess. I mean, on Periscope, I have a video on Periscope of live coverage of it. And it was just horrible. The kids are crying and they don't know what to do. They're scared. So, I mean, this one little girl that was right next to that window, she was shaking. She must have been 8 years old, but she was shaking and crying. I was blown away. So this is the damage that you do when you're unwillingly known on drugs. So, you know, get help. If you can't get help, stay out of the eye of public. It's the best thing you can do. Because people like me don't like it. And people like me will react to it. I never call the cops on it because the cops are too busy to deal with people like you. So I deal with you. Doesn't mean I'm going to beat you up or anything like that. If you try anything with me, I will definitely defend myself in a big way. In a big way. But the thing is, I don't want to do it that way. I want to get you help. I want you to be the person that you started out being when you were born. Somebody with a vision. Somebody with a direction. And the direction got lost when you started using drugs. So for somebody that had been where you're at and made it through and kicked the addiction and moved on with his life, you can do it too. And with that, this is Grandpa Ken.
Bye.